This is one of the more difficult videos I made. It starts with a kind of a sad story. When I was young, around 10, I had a good friend of mine, and we would go to each other's birthday parties where we were in the after school program together. We had a lot of good times together. And as we got a little older, we kind of, went our own separate ways, but we, always had a good relationship. And then came senior year in high school, and he got in a car crash and passed away, unfortunately. And there was like a 5K for him afterwards, and I ran in that. But it's something I've always thought about. I'm quite a bit older now, and I've wondered, is there some sort of logical way to lessen the effects of a car crash? Kind of like an airbag. And I've been meaning to make this video for a while now, but it's just kind of emotionally difficult for me. And here it is. And the concept is called proactive front-facing airbags. And I think if every car had this, then there'd be a lot less car crash deaths and a lot less injuries. There's something like 40,000 car crash deaths in the U.S. every year. Something like 4 million injuries because of car crashes every year in the U.S. And what if we could bring that down by half or something like that? I think it's possible. I think it's possible. Alright, so check out this video. Alright, I'm going to be strapping this old phone on here using this app, Accelerometer Analyzer, and we're going to use that to measure the accelerations in G-forces. Up front here, got the sensor hooked up, fresh batteries, poked about 10 holes in the balloon here, and here we go. Here's the sensor, and there we go. Alright, this is a very simple cart setup. I'll pressurize this air tank here. This is just a seltzer bottle. I used epoxy to glue on a Schrader valve here. I'll pressurize this to about 50 psi. That goes to the solenoid valve. The solenoid valve is controlled by this sensor here, proximity sensor, and it turns on when something gets close. You can see the little red light here changes. It turns on when my hand gets close. That's powered by 3 9-volt batteries in series here. The cart will roll down this trigger and hopefully inflate a little balloon. I'm going to poke some holes in this balloon, and we're going to try it out from about 15 inches in height here. Here's the before and after data. Before, without the airbag, there were 36 samples over 12 Gs, averaging 19.3 Gs. Afterward, there were 18 samples over 12 Gs, so a lot less samples over 12 Gs. And the average was 18.31 Gs, so a reduction of 1 G, which isn't that much. Really, there could be drastic improvements in the design, from the accelerometer to the frame to the airbag to the sensor to pretty much everything. But this was kind of just like showing the concept. Alright, next I'll show you the data on the computer, and we'll talk about a couple other things. Here's the data from the accelerometer on the phone. I transferred it over to the computer and imported it with Excel. So 5 runs, no airbags, G's versus samples. So here's samples on the x-axis, G's on the y-axis, and you can see I'm mostly focusing on things over 12 G's here to kind of filter out the noise. This is after with proactive airbags versus the samples, and here you go. Volvo has been experimenting with airbags on the front of the car, like on the window here, but it's not really what I'm envisioning. Imagine instead that there are sensors on the car, which there are already. For example, most cars nowadays have front radar sensors. Now, would they be able to pick up a person? I'm not sure. But imagine you mount like a camera to the front facing forward with vision-based AI, and the sensors work together to determine, okay, is the car going to collide into something? That then triggers an airbag out front here. You got to be careful, of course, to not obscure the total vision of the driver, but the whole idea is to create a front proactive airbag out here. The sensors need to see much further out for it to work. This concept is beneficial not just in the case of a pedestrian crash, but any crash. It doesn't matter if you're hitting a pedestrian, a wall, or in the case of where my friend passed away, a T-bone. The whole idea is to have an airbag here that protects the people in the car and protects whatever you're colliding with. With advances in sensors and vision-based AI, I think this is going to be a possibility. Actually, I think it's a possibility now. It's just a matter of somebody doing it and implementing it in cars.
Well, there you have it. I'm not the best airbag designer in the world, but maybe one day this will inspire somebody, I don't know. Yeah, this was an emotionally challenging video because I had to revisit some difficult things in the past. But yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching.